All right. So as always, have some blankets, pillows, anything nearby that may help to make your practice a little more relaxing, a little more restorative. And we'll just start to bring our way into that nice, comfy, seated position. Feel free to move around a little bit as you settle in. You can sit on some pillows if you like, or just have those pillows nearby for some various poses that we'll come into. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, maybe do so. Just letting go of the visual distraction. Bringing your awareness more into the feel of your body rather than seeing the body. Finding stillness. Noticing the stillness, right? Tuning into it. Our whole purpose right here in the beginning is just to become very mindful. Mindful of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, the physical body. Mindful of this moment. And if you notice that your thoughts are from the past or the present, then notice that, be mindful of that, and try to bring them into the present. Visualize your body by your sense of feel. Trying to soften your eyes. Relaxing your jaw. Go through the shoulders. Relax the pelvic floor muscles. Releasing tension all the way down to the toes. It's not that there's no thoughts present. It's just for being aware that the thoughts are there, but not having to interact with them, not having to engage. Almost like as if you were having a conversation with someone, right? And maybe it was a bit of a disagreement. You have the choice, right? You don't have to engage back, especially if it might cause anger or distress in you. The same logic applies with our own thoughts and emotions and feelings. We can acknowledge that it's there. We don't have to get in a battle with ourselves. We don't have to let it pull us away. We can choose to just breathe. To just be present in the moment. This evening, we're going to focus with our poses, our asana. on our kidney and our bladder meridians. So meridians, they're channels through our body, right? So like energy channels, just as we have, blood vessels through our body, the lymphatic system that moves through our body, these channels known as meridians. And the bladder and kidney meridian, they go together, yet they're opposing. One is more yin and one is a little more yang. So our kidney is more of our yin and our bladder is more yang. And when there's disruptions, or if the energy, the flow can't happen, if there's blockages throughout any of the meridians in our body, right, then just like if there were a blood clot, right, the inner workings of our body can't do what they're meant to do. And so the poses that we're going to focus on tonight are designed to open those meridians. So one of the meridians runs kind of through the inner thigh, one runs up through the back of the legs. They both come up through the back of the body. So we're going to do some opening of the inner thigh area, some opening of the back of our body, some relaxing through the tailbone. So I'm taking just a couple more breaths here. Maybe even visualizing your bladder, your kidneys, like they're organs that help cleanse. Our kidneys filter, right? Our bladder empties. So tuning in to your body, the kidneys are up kind of right around the base of your rib cage. Bladder is below that. Taking a moment to maybe sit with that area of your body and see if there's any feelings or anything your body may be trying to tell you. Just listening. And using that intuitive focus, that inward focus, as we move through the various postures, right? To use the mind to heal, to cleanse, to let go. And with that, bringing the awareness into the palm of your hands, so that you can bring the palms of the hands together, lift the thumbs to your heart, taking a moment here to just appreciate yourself, honor yourself. When you're ready, allow that chin to tuck, that forehead to bow, allowing your eyes to open with your gaze down, and then releasing the hands and lifting. Maybe just move the body a little bit here, just some light twisting just after all of that stillness. And for those of you that just came in, feel free, as always, to grab some pillows, some blankets to help make these postures a little more comfortable. And so we're going to start by bringing the bottoms of the feet together in that fairly wide position. So we use this pose a lot to kind of lengthen down the outer hips, and you are going to get some of that. But I invite you to take this pose a little more kind of restful this evening. So you could take some pillows into your lap and then just allow yourself to round forward. So a lot of times when we come into this place, we really start by working the chest and leading with the heart and focusing on that stretch. But rather today, just let yourself find that relaxation here. You're still going to feel some feels, but just start with some restfulness, allowing that chin to tuck, that forehead to bow. that release to happen through the low back. Right? Opening through that SI joint. Creating space. And then don't be afraid to listen to your body here. Right? So, you know, shift a little bit one way or the other. Play with the posture. Finding that place that's just right for you. And there's not, it doesn't have to feel a certain way, right? You'll know when it just feels right to you. It feels good to you. And let yourself be there. Feel the space that's being created. The lengthening, the opening. Imagine perhaps the meridians running through the areas that are being lengthened and open. Man, it's like a clogged up tunnel, and we're opening it. We're creating space so the body can transport what needs to be transported. Oxygen, energy, blood, nutrients, waste out. Taking a couple more breaths here. And slowly making your way up. Bringing that stretch a little deeper down through the back of the body. Take your legs, extend them long. Feel free to shift around, move a little bit in between the postures. Roll your ankles. Flex the feet. Maybe those pillows again. Always an option as you begin to lean forward. Feel the stretch down the backs of the legs. You don't have to have the pillows right. It just adds kind of that support because I can lean into them. And I could have 3 or 4 here if I wanted. I could also be sitting on a pillow to raise me up. And finding that place that feels just right. A place that you can stand to be here for a little bit. If it's too intense, we don't want to hold. And relax through the back of the neck, the shoulders, the upper back. Feel the opening through the back, down through the back of the legs. So if you happen to be new to Yin, we do hold our postures for a bit. But stay as long as feels okay to you. If you need to move, move. Stretching brings its own challenges. You can, just like cardio or strength can be challenging, stretching can be challenging, stillness can be challenging. So I invite you to listen to your body, notice how it feels, what it's asking for. And on our inhale, slowly make our way up. Again, feel free to move a little bit in any way that you like, and we'll slowly make our way out to straddle. So coming down through the inner thigh area. Maybe a little side to side movement to get started. Reach shifting through that SI joint, creating space in the back where the kidneys are. Right? And as we start to fold forward, massaging into the bladder. Pillows, no pillows. Right? Pillows can raise that floor up to us, give us something to support our upper body. Maybe it just feels good to move the neck, shake, nod, circle, wiggle the jaw. Let the air out. Right? Let any built up pressure out with a nice exhale. Your mind may wander. Very normal, very natural. Just when you notice it, bring it back without putting a lot of fanfare into it, and definitely no criticism, right? It's totally fine. The mind's doing what the mind was designed to do. Just bring it back into this moment. Bring your awareness maybe to your feet. And just kind of notice where your feet naturally want to go. Do they turn inward a little bit? Do they, point straight up? Do they both kind of do the same thing, or is one a little different than the other? Just noticing. Being aware, present. And make your way up. So you're going to do the opposite of what we've been doing. We've been folding forward. We're going to do some opening by coming down into our Sphinx position. You have a couple of options with your pillows here. Of course, you don't have to use any pillows at all. But you could bring the pillows kind of underneath to support the belly, right? And then come down, elbows underneath your shoulders, fingers spread out, squeezing the glutes. So squeezing the glutes is going to help support that low back as you lift up through the chest. Now you could also bring the pillows underneath the thighs, right, which is going to allow you to lift more, to create more space. So, choosing to have them under the belly for more support, or under the thighs to give you more space to lengthen. Think about pulling the triceps back, lifting and bringing the belly forward. Engage the shoulders down the ears, squeezing the glutes. So this Sphinx pose is actually pretty working. It works the back of our body, strengthening as it opens through the front. Now you can stay in Sphinx. Some of you may like to come up to Cobra by bringing the hands down to the ground. Allows you to lift up higher, Really pulling the shoulder blades down the back and gives you that deeper stretch through the front of the body. But only if this feels good to you. You might prefer to stay in Sphinx. Think about lengthening the front of the body, squeezing the glutes. So you'll notice if you let go of the glutes, right, you might start to get a little, just a little, you know, I'm here message in that low back. The glutes help support the low back. And maybe a little movement through the head. Taking a couple more breaths here. Sphinx or cobra. And then slowly easing your way out of it. We're going to come over onto our back for happy baby. If laying on your back is an issue at all and you do not want to go to your back, you could take a child's pose with your big toes together, your knees apart, so you're still getting into the inner thighs a little bit, and you're counter stretching that Sphinx. Or we can come down, hugging the knees in, right, upside down child's pose, reaching for the bottoms of our feet, and allow those knees to pull towards the armpits, hands hang lightly on the feet. Releasing and relaxing all of that tension that we brought into our spine and our glutes in the Sphinx pose. Opening through the hips. If holding onto the bottoms of the feet becomes uncomfortable in any way, remember you can always wrap the hands around the back of the knees. You can let the knees just kind of fold a bit here. So it's a little more like a knee hug, but wider. Some options. Move as it feels right to you. So if your body wants to sway a little bit, or if you want to work with bending and straightening your legs a little bit. Take a few more breaths here. We'll just slowly start to bring the legs back in together. Hug the knees into your chest. Take a couple of nice, big, deep, easy breaths, letting out a sighing exhale through the mouth. Maybe one more time. We're going to take the right or the left leg. Let's take the left leg. Straighten the left leg. Placing the left leg down on the ground. And then we're going to use our right hand. It's going to guide our right hand's going to anchor down out into that T position. And our left hand's going to guide that right knee over, coming into that spinal twist. So as we twist, we're twisting from just under the rib cage, right where those kidneys are. Chest stays facing the ceiling, right shoulder stays engaged, but the right knee comes over to the left for that spinal twist. I have some options from this position. You could bend the left knee, bend the right knee, stacking the legs on top of each other, making this a little more restful. Or you could take that right leg, lengthen it long, so that the right and left leg are both long, making the twist a little deeper. So whatever feels best to you here. There's not a right or a wrong. Notice your breath as you inhale it into your lungs. The lungs are a little bit twisted here. You might feel that in your breathing. Steady it. Softening it. And then staying in our spinal twist, but take an inhale, and as you exhale, let that body just kind of move instinctively a little bit, right? So we're just kind of letting go of the stretch, just letting it soften, right? And taking a few more breaths here in this slightly softer place, whatever that looks like to you. And then we'll begin to make our way back onto our back. Adjust once you're on your back. Maybe you need to lift your hips off the ground a second. Just find that new spot. And we'll lengthen the right leg, hug the left in towards the chest, anchoring down with the left arm, right arm guides the knee across. And then we have those same options, softening it by bending both knees or making it a little more lengthening by straightening the left leg. Remembering my favorite saying in Yin too is, just because I can do it doesn't mean I have to. So maybe I can straighten the leg, but I get there and it doesn't feel that good. I don't have to do it. Opening through the heart a little more on this side. The heart sets slightly off to the left. Notice your breathing. Relax through the torso, through the hip region. Taking an inhale, and as you exhale, let that body soften just a bit. Just kind of naturally. Soften your forehead and your eyes. You might need to wiggle it a little bit. Make sure you're not squinching. And just find your way towards Shavasana. Moving as much as you need to move as you work your way there. Maybe a pillow under the knees, under the head, a blanket. I like to sometimes take a pillow or two and just lie them on top of my chest. It's very, very lightweight.
It's that same kind of concept as a weighted blanket. And it's like a big hug, protection, calms the nervous system, the central nervous system, calming that sympathetic nervous system and helping to activate that yin, that rest, parasympathetic nervous system. Giving yourself permission to rest, to surrender, to let go. We are quickly approaching the official end of our time together. As always, I invite you to stay longer. And I ask that when you are ready to move, do so slowly, especially you West Coasters, right? Because I know it's not that late there for you and you might have some other things to do this evening. So try to transition back into whatever it is you have to do slowly, without that panic, right? Take your time. The love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Namaste.